Today, down goes Shama as Magomed Ankalaev has defeated Alex Pereira for the light heavyweight championship of the world. Also, what about Justin Gaethje? What about the maestro of violence as he went out there and put some hands and a devastating uppercut on Fiziev? Also, Bahamundes shocks everyone and retires a man. All of this and more on today's episode of Matter of Fact MMA. What's up? What's happening? Let's go. What's up, guys? We right back at it. We right back with it. It's your boy Matt, and we are here to go over the UFC's latest pay-per-view edition, UFC 313, that went down in the T-Mobile Arena there in Las Vegas, Nevada, where in the main event, Magomed Ankalaev defeats Alex Poatan Pereira by decision to become the new light heavyweight champion of the world. All right, let's get right into it. First off, I actually scored this fight for Alex Pereira 3-2, 3 rounds to 2 is how I had it. However, razor close fight, extremely close, and other than I'm not a huge fan of him, I really don't have a problem with Ankalaev winning the fight. It was razor close. You know, Ankalaev went out there and he did his thing, bro, and he is now the new light heavyweight champion of the world. And even though I'm a Pereira fan, not a big fan of Ankalaev at all, I can't even really hate on it. It was a razor close fight. I'm not going to say it was a robbery. I'm not going to do any of that. I scored it for Pereira, but it is what it is. As I'm watching the fight, Magomed had a great game plan. He stuck to his word, even though he did shoot for a few takedowns, well, more than a few. A lot of them were stuffed by Pereira, stuffed up against the fence, Pereira was backed up against the fence. And Magomed really did keep it on the feet for the most part. Like I said, he tried a few times to get it to the ground, but it never happened. He even rocked Alex Pereira at one point. And I don't know, man. It was a weird fight because it looked like Pereira was having trouble pulling the trigger throughout the entire fight. I'm watching it, and it's not that there was a ton of openings that, a layman like myself would even see. But it looked as if Pereira saw openings when he was in close with Magomed, but he just never pulled that trigger to fire those shots. Part of me believes it was because he was a little bit worried if he did pull the trigger and it didn't, it didn't hit its spot, hit its target, if you will, then Magomed would take him down to the ground, and that would probably zap all of his energy away. I don't know. I don't know if he had some sort of a lightweight injury. I mean, all the fighters tend to go into their fights with injuries, but especially Alex Pereira. He's never said as much. I'm not really too sure what was going on. It even looked like Glover Teixeira was, trying to implore Pereira to go forward and really get active in his game. So I'm not sure what any of that was, honestly. But Ankalaev is now the new light heavyweight champion of the world. As for Ankalaev, great game plan, pretty good fight. At the end of the day, man, you can't force it, okay? And that's just what it is. There's something about Magomed Ankalaev that we all can't get behind. He's a tremendous fighter, but there's just something that's not connecting with everyone. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like we can't get behind the dude. And I don't know what it is. Because it's obvious he's trying. He's trying to make his fights more exciting. He's trying not to just take a guy to the ground and hold him. And when you look at the stats of his previous fights, he actually strikes a lot. Like a lot. You know what I'm saying? A lot. And he has finished guys a lot on the feet or due to his hands. But there's just something about the man that, thus far the fan base is not getting behind. And I don't know if Dana White added on to that by his dislike of Magomed. It was clear before Bruce Buffer was about to read the winner of the fight, there was a point where Dana White was getting the belt together. He was getting ready. It was clear Dana White had a little pep in his step because he thought that Pereira was about to win the fight. Bruce Buffer leans over, says a few things to him, and literally all of the life left Dana White's face and his body and floated up to the sky. The dude was not happy for Ankalaev to win the belt, as all of us were not happy for him to win the belt. But nevertheless, man, maybe he can. I'm trying to be positive. Maybe Ankalaev can turn it around. There's been a lot of fighters that no one liked, and they ended up becoming beloved fighters, like Leon Edwards. Nobody liked Leon Edwards early on until we heard his coach say, "You're letting him bully you, son." And he goes out there, and the head kick heard round the world happen. You know what I'm saying? Changed up a lot of things for Leon Edwards. But right now, we're not really feeling Ankalaev. We'll see if that changes. Shout out to him. He's the new light heavyweight champion of the world. We will see where Pereira goes. Will it be heavyweight? Will he stay at light heavyweight? Or will he damn near kill himself by draining his body of all fluids and go down to middleweight to try to fight Dricus du Plessis? We will see where he goes. Anyway, let's move on to the co-main event, where Justin Gaethje bounces back hard. I told everyone that was out here picking Fiziev, I told y'all, roll with your boy Matt. I knew Justin Gaethje was going to get this one done. Justin Gaethje goes out there and defeats Rafael Fiziev in the co-main event. What a fight. Great fight. Here's the thing, man. Round one, I feel like Fiziev was doing his thing and Fiziev was in the lead. Round two, Justin Gaethje floored Fiziev. I mean, it didn't drop him like he passed out, but he caught Fiziev with a devastating uppercut, and that literally changed the whole fight. Up until that uppercut, I believe Fiziev was winning. Gaethje hits him with that uppercut in the second round. That changed everything in this fight. Also, so commentary pointed out there was a point in more towards the end of the first round where Fiziev kind of stepped down awkwardly on one of his legs, and it was believed that he might have some sort of an injury. Then Joe Rogan pointed out that I believe a chunk of skin was scraped off, cut off. Gaethje pulled out a knife. I don't know what happened, but there was a large chunk of skin missing from Fiziev's toe, and that needs to be investigated. Not really, but still, I don't know what was going on there. But Fiziev seemed to move slightly awkward after that. But nevertheless, bro, Justin Gaethje, after he landed that uppercut, the homie snapped into it, his brain snapped into place, and he did his thing. He went to work after that. We were seeing shades of the old Justin Gaethje in there. Not saying he lost a step, but shades of the old Justin Gaethje. And he really did his thing. Now, the third round, Fiziev was lighting Justin up with body kicks and teep kicks. Bam, bam, bam. Just kept going to the body. But it was not enough. Extremely razor close fight because Fiziev was not going to let it go easily in that third round. He did his thing, especially with all of the body work. But Justin Gaethje goes out there, gets a win. He moves forward. Very tricky matchmaking for the UFC because you have Max Holloway, who's coming off a loss at featherweight, but he's already beaten Justin Gaethje at 155 pounds. So you can't really have Gaethje leapfrog Max and throw him in a title fight with Islam. I mean, you could, but I wouldn't advise it. Then you have Max, who's moving back to 155 pounds. And currently right now, he's the BMF champion. So we'll see where that goes. You have Dustin Poirier fishing for his final fight later this year. in New Orleans. Makhachev still needs an opponent. Then you also got that dude. That dude that if you lock him in a room with any fighter on the roster, I don't care weight class, Ilia Topuria walks out of that room. Ilia Topuria is lurking at 155. So we will see what happens here. Honestly, throw Topuria and Justin Gaethje in the cage and let them battle. Honestly, let's just do it. Just do it. Pull the trigger, throw them in the cage, let them battle. I want to see it. I think Ilia walks out that room. Nevertheless, Justin Gaethje is your winner. Let's move on. How about this? How about also just to mention Justin Gaethje fight with Fiziev got fight of the night. How about this? Jalen Turner stepped in the octagon with Baumundez. They got Baumundez got performance of the night as he goes out there and he submits Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner was looking okay early in the first round. Also, the fight ended in the first round. He was looking okay at the beginning of the first round. But he just seemed, once Baumundez started to put up a little bit of offense, you know what I'm saying? When it looked like Jalen wasn't going to just steamroll Baumundez, which I don't know if anyone thought that. If you did, that was not a good thought. Because Baumundez is kind of that guy for real. But nevertheless, man, as soon as there was a little bit of resistance from Baumundez, Jalen Turner began to fold. And after the fight, he retired. Or at least he's retired as of this moment. Things might change. Things go through a lot of fighters' heads at the end of fights, especially after a loss. But he's retired. And honestly, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That might be a good thing because he definitely seemed like once resistance was put up by Baumundez, he seemed like he checked out. He just seemed like he checked out. He seemed like he might not necessarily want to be in there. So we'll see where it goes. Shout out to Baumundez. He gets a big win. He moves on. Outside of that, let's go to another fight that got performance of the night. Mauricio Rufy stepped in the octagon with King Green and caught this man with a devastating spinning heel kick. Crashed that heel across the back of the head of Bobby Green. Bobby Green crumpled to the floor face first. Rufy did his thing. I'm so glad that at the last minute when I was making my breakdown of this fight, I picked Rufy because the whole week I kind of struggled because I thought maybe that veteran prowess of Bobby Green would take over. It did not take over as Rufy went out there and did Fighting Nerds Rufy things. And Rufy moves on. We will see where he goes from there. Outside of that, man, Joshua Van had a really good fight. He had a good win. His opponent kind of ran from him and spanned takedowns, but still big win for Bruno Ferreira. I also another major pick that I saw a lot of people going against, but Bruno Ferreira goes out there and gets the big win. And it is what it is, man. A few other fights, they were all right, but overall pretty good card. We're heading into a really terrible card this weekend, so we'll see how all that goes. Nevertheless, man, Ankalaev is the new light heavyweight champion of the world. Please let me know what you thought about it. Did you score it for Pereira? Did you score it for Ankalaev? Let me know. Please like, subscribe, comment. And once again, I do want to thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Matter of Fact MMA. And I'll check you next time. Peace.